Hello again, and welcome back to Christmas Eve. Can you believe that this is the 24th day of toy unboxings? I certainly really can't. Holy cow, I've kept with this thing. Anyway, today we're going to be taking a look at a few more roguish, arguably, more evil, maybe conflicted, reformed characters. And we're going to be starting off with Transformers Earthspark Megatron. Interestingly, he was absolutely not going to be in my original rotation, and then he kind of got picked out of my queue because I was trying to decide what I wanted to open to go with the other figure that I'm reviewing. But yeah, just take a quick look at the packaging here. Yeah, we got Megatron there. We got another Mandroid part. Yeah, and we got all these guys teased on the back for upcoming stuff. So yeah, that is cool. That is cool stuff. And looking at Megatron right here in the package, let's see, we've got the Build-A-Figure parts and tissue paper and stuff in this Autobot Scum tissue paper. I'm guessing there's a fusion cannon in here, and I would be guessing right. And there was also a Mandroid arm. No elbow here, like the other one, and it's got a ball joint there. Again, this is very similar to the other Build-A-Figure part. And then, yeah, we have just Megatron's characteristic fusion cannon right here. Yeah, now Earthspark's Megatron is really more, I guess, he's more of a heroic Megatron. Like, there's some definite inspiration that's being taken from the IDW, Morden Meets the Eye Season 2 Megatron there, just both in his actual design and also in his characterization, where it is a Megatron who has since, abandoned the war, left the Decepticons. And in fact, there are members of his faction that have grievance with him because of the fact that he up and quit. But, pulling him out of the box, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely a deluxe, and it's definitely, given deluxes tend to have a lot more compromises, like just the hollow insides. Although I imagine that is entirely to facilitate the transformation on this guy. Yeah, so let's take a quick look at his head sculpt here. Yeah. It's Earthspark Megatron. Turning the flash off for a sec. Yeah, you can definitely see it's got that detail. Not really an evil expression, just more of a more neutral one, I suppose. And it's got the little M detailing there on his chin. You can see it there. Kind of cool. Yeah, just, again, doing some close-up stuff here. Yeah, you can see there, it's got the Ghost logo with a Decepticon faction symbol. Overall, the paint seems fairly decent on him. Yeah, for range of motion here, we got a ball joint here at the neck. We got just ball joints at the shoulders, although... Oh, no, there's a ball joint and they fold up like this. So actually, he's got a decent range in the shoulders. We don't have a bicep swivel, it looks... Oh, no, we got this one here. It's a transformation one, so that doesn't really count as a joint. But we do have a ball joint here at the elbow. Do we have wrists? No wrists, no wrist swivels. Yeah, we got a fusion cannon slot over here. So let's go ahead and plug that in so that he's got his characteristic gun. I mean, it kind of sits a bit weird on his thing here, honestly. Yeah, the fusion cannon sits a little bit weird. The box photo does show him holding it by his hand, so maybe that's how it's supposed to go. If we do that and plug it into the hand, it actually, yeah, that does look quite a bit better, I think. It's very G1 in how it's deployed there. I don't know what the proper way to do it is, though. There was no waist on him, unfortunately. We have the thighs, we have very good knee bends, and we have ankle tilts. So, let's get him into his all mode. And this Megatron actually has like a armored, stealth, like an armored bomber type alternate mode. Again, it's a very good updated Megatron in terms of his design, and the robot mode is very evocative of some of the Megatrons that we've had in years past. Like, it's very IDW in its overall aesthetic. And yeah, I'm just studying the box here, actually looking at a photo, because I keep learning my lesson in these reviews that I should probably actually know what I'm doing. And yeah, the legs fold up pretty straightforwardly. Although these don't fold up in there. These are separate kibble, it looks like. So let's get these folded up. Do these fold? Yeah, the feet fold in. Okay. And then they should fold up into that assembly there. I just need to figure out where this kibble goes, unless it stays down. But it doesn't look like it fits in there. Yeah. All right, I guess I'll do the front of the helicopter then. I'm also assuming that unlike Bumblebee, this guy isn't actually missing any parts. It does have a fake chest, like Bumblebee again. And I'm just trying to figure out here how this all folds over top, because there's not clearance for the head right there. The head has to fold out of the way somehow. This is already feeling a little bit more basic than Bumblebee is, just on initial inspection here. Like, I can see the way a lot of these pieces are meant to go. But I am just, oh, it just folds straight down. Okay. I hope that, oh, I see. The torso's on a rail. That's why there's no waist joint, because the entire torso's on a rail. So yeah, so we fold this up, and okay, suddenly all this stuff makes sense with the transformation. All right, this should be very basic now. Okay. So we just fold the front of this together. Pegs in like so. Bring this kibble around, unpeg the arms up here, and actually we can do the tail now, and now I can understand where these pieces go because they had a bit more clearance than it looked like. So this pegs together, very solid in how it pegs, and these pieces here lock in like so, and form part of the back. This folds down, locks the tail area in place. He is very solid in this transformation so far, I will give him this. It's a very solid transformation. And yeah, the propellers fold around here. And then we bend his arms. Bring the propellers in to form the wings. And is that it? Yeah. That's it. That is Megatron in his alternate mode. It's a very simplistic deluxe. I mean, it doesn't need to be complex, but boy, this was very simple. A lot easier to transform than Bumblebee was. I mean, it looks pretty clean. I'm not gonna... I mean, you can see, like, the chest hanging out on the bottom here, but... yeah, it looks pretty clean. It does its job. I mean, you sit it down, and it looks okay here, if you sit it down. As for weapon storage, let's see, we got, like, all these 5mm pegs there. So I guess you can just... on the actual box image, it shows it just pegging in there. I don't see any way to undersling it, unfortunately, which... really, that is the way that they should have done it. They should have had an undersling on the cannon there just so it could store, but they do not have that. In fact, there's no way to mount it on the underside of the bomber, and that actually feels like a huge misstep on their part. Especially since if you peg it into the side, it immediately blocks the propeller movement. So, yeah. That is Megatron from Earthspark. He is an okay figure. He's just an okay figure, I guess. The other figure, though, that I've got on the list of things to unbox for tonight, I am a lot more excited about. It is the namesake of Megatron, in fact. Like, not the original Robot Devil, but one of the more memorable ones. Robot Satan himself, Studio Series The Fallen. And just look at that gorgeous artwork. Just look at it. Oh, yeah. It is spectacular. Yeah, this is one that, yeah, and you can see a teaser of some of the gimmicks I'll talk about. This is one that I've been looking forward to. The Fallen is one of those designs that, yeah, he has never really had a huge amount, like, his transformation has always been a bit jank. He never transformed in the movies, but he had a really cool, really interesting design. And so with that said, we're going to crack him open and take a look. First of all, though, we need to talk about his backdrop, because like all the Studio Series toys, he does have one of those, and it's a leader class scale one. It's not of the pyramid, not strictly speaking. It's actually of the little village near the pyramids where the actual battle took place, and in which he retreated to after the battle while he was fighting Optimus Prime, and Prime tore his face off. And speaking of tearing faces off, yeah, he's got his, like, you know, missing mask face here right straight in the box. So yeah, this is going to be fun, like, once I get him open. Yeah. The Fallen is, as I said, yeah, it's a design that, it's a very memorable design. It's got a very, like, kludgy alt mode in the actual premise. And the really, I always liked the original toy, despite the inaccuracies. And then they did when they did the remold of him that came out later on, it just improved that toy, except for the big problem with that it was not in movie accurate colors. It was more of a cryo Fallen deco, even though he had his movie accurate staff and the removable face in that one. Yeah, it was all that stuff in a design that really was not well suited to that. So we got that there. We got the halves of the staff just in the box. And we got a bag back here, which probably contains his face. So taking a look at that face, let's get this tissue paper open. And oh, this is gorgeous here. Oh, this is gorgeous. Just look at it here. We have this shiny metallic look to the actual deco here on the face. Like, they just use this metallic blue here. It's a softer plastic, the actual helmet. And we have just this light piping shaft that just runs all the way down the top here. So it should be able to light up his eyes. And then, yeah, you can already see them catching some light from this light box there. That's pretty rad. And just like a hint there of the fiery deco, like in the actual film itself. Yeah, this is a really good head sculpt. And yeah, it just the different tones of the plastic look fantastic here. It really captures that movie look. And standing him up now, I think the first thing that we notice here, compared to people who remember the old Revenge of the Fallen toy, is no spring-loaded feet. So as soon as you pick him up, the feet don't just fold up. But yeah, he is a big guy. He is a big guy, and I'm going to have to adjust this camera again. Seriously, holy cow. Like, the Fallen always had a big design in the movies. And oh, we got some parts here that looks like I need to actually finish assembling some stuff on this. Oh, yeah, right. Right, these parts here that are just hanging off the bottom here, these are actually his, the little joining pieces there that, oh, look at all these joints. Oh, look at all these. These are the parts that then plug into his back and allow him to have that really nifty articulation where he's just got like that conjoined arm there. So I'm just lining all this up as per. Yeah, it'll be easier if I unplug these and then plug them back in. But you can see how it lines up pretty well in terms of the actual sculpting. They plug in pretty securely. Once you push them in properly, they should just plug right together like so. Yeah, just like so. And then, yeah. Now we just have to hook it into the ball joints. And they actually really went out of their way to make sure that it doesn't impede. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this. Like, just look at this elaborate system that they did here just to maximize the amount of arm articulation that he can pull off. Like, we've got a ball here in the actual forearm here. We've got a ball over here. We've got this entire mechanism here specifically meant for dealing with him moving his arm in all kinds of different ways. Like, yeah, he can't raise his, he can only raise his arms so high. But even then, I mean, look how high I can get these arms. Look how high I can get these arms there without this coming undone. That is some cool stuff. Yeah, and just bringing it around to the front. Let's just see. Oh, this looks amazing. I need to just... these ball joints aren't overly tight, and that's not a bad thing. Because, yeah, you should be able to just, like, repose them all and stuff. But, yeah, they got that entire back thing looking really good there. And as for the face, yeah, we've got his face here. And it should just plug over top of his head. Like so. Yeah, wow. It's just straightforward. And now he's got his face. Now he has his movie accurate face. And oh, what a gorgeous look this is. Just going to take the staff here, put it together. And let's take a quick look at this. It's a really long staff, again, like in the film. This is a lot bigger than the staff that the old Voyager toy had. And yeah, looks like he's got a little hook there on his finger for holding it. It's actually going to be easier if I unpick this again and then thread it through. So let's do that. Again, they clearly thought this out, considering that they had it detached so you could actually do that. But, yeah. Just need to plug this one back in here and use this mechanism. And, oh, yeah, this looks good. This looks really good. So good. Oh. All right, let's take a closer look at some of the stuff on this guy, too. Yeah, these are probably going to keep popping out here, the back plates here. But let's take a closer look. I know one thing that they did here for a trick there is there's actually a lot of translucent plastic that's used on this guy. Yeah, they used a bunch of translucent plastic just to give him that whole effect. I just need to find some of those spots. Yeah, I think here, like for instance, yeah, you can really see up here on his shoulders, for instance. You can see that there's a bit of a fade up here where the translucent plastic is. If you just look up there, yeah, you can see it just fade through with the light. And looking at where else that is, I think they used it in other spots too. Like, I think it's also used on the torso, probably parts of the legs. It's just all meant to catch light there. And I really like just how he's got the subdued orange deco all over the place there, just like in the films they're evoking the flames. And yeah, just bringing that head up close again. Yeah. Oh, that looks amazing. Look at that sculpt. This sculpt is just incredible. This is a really good head sculpt. Oh, like he's got his mouth, yeah, you can see his teeth there and everything. Like it's more detail, a more proper detail than we've ever really gotten with a Fallen toy. And yeah, it just, he is properly huge. Like this is like whenever they do a Studio Series leader, like the Transmetal 2 Megatron there, where they were just able to squeeze an insane amount of posability out, an insane amount of size out of that thing. I mean, yeah, like, look at him there. Like, I have to push him all the way to the back of my light box so that he actually turns up. How cool is that? Oh. Like, yeah, this is an amazing toy. Yeah, you can just... Let's look at his articulation then, I guess, too. So, I mean, the head, you've seen the mask come off, but it's all ball jointed, so... Very good range of motion here. Yeah, shoulders comes up this way. I don't know how much of that is meant to be part of the actual sculpt, but he's also got, yeah, as I showed off, there's this entire elaborate system in the back here that's meant to facilitate a lot of poses there, so that you can pose him with his hand and still have that moving along. We got oh, and it just popped off. Okay. Let's fix that. But again, this is like very cool engineering the way that it's done. What else we got here? We've got a above the elbow swivel, double jointed elbows, full wrist swivel, and an up and down pivot in the wrist. Like, he is very poseable. Oh, yeah. As I mentioned, there's the entire elaborate mechanism on the back there. No waist swivel on this guy or ab crunch or anything, but he does have a very good range of motion in the legs. He's got a swivel above the knee. Knee is, yeah, pretty good range of motion for the digit grade legs. And he's got the full ankle tilts and even some toe folding, which is probably just a matter of accommodating the transformation. But yeah, seriously, oh, this guy looks amazing. I mean, just look at this. He just looks super intimidating here. Yeah. Transformation is where this is going to get in. Transformation is where this is going to get interesting, though, because, yeah, like, I'm just looking at a box photo right now just to go off of it for this thing. But it doesn't really look the most... the Fallen's always had an alt mode that is kind of a little bit of a just kludge thing. So I'm very curious to see how this actually transforms. Yeah, like the alt mode they kind of made up for the toy line. He still has, and oh no, that's just a production number. So yeah, I'm going to have to just figure out how all of this is meant to deploy. Like we can see here that this whole bit, oh yeah, this whole bit comes up here and he's got a cockpit right there. Kind of like the original toy again. And I bet that this is meant to fold up and cover his face. So now he's protected from Optimus Prime trying to cleave it. I mean, that, yeah, it looks good already. You can already see like a lot of the jet here. And as I look at this, I suspect it's going to turn out to not be a very overly complex transformation. Nothing wrong with that at all. Let's see. We have the wrist fold, and there's pegs here, so we just need to find all the slots that go with those. I see. The hands are supposed to come up over to here. I'm going to just unpeg these for a second just to speed this up. Yeah, these clearly fold up, and let's see. Let's see if I can figure this out. Those little spikes fold in. And yeah, the hands are going to tab into the body up here. Looks like these assemblies are meant to fold out somewhat as well. Actually, these might untab. Looking at this, I think these are supposed to come off for the robot mode. Yeah, it looks like these parts at the back here I'm supposed to take off and peg them back in onto the legs. So let's see if I can figure that out looking at the box photo. Yeah, we got these tabs and slots here that are going to peg in. Oh, okay, this whole bit folds up over here. All right. And then, yeah, and these are still meant to be oriented like this. So now these should line up with the arms, with the shoulders here. I see the tab and slot right there. It's just a matter of getting everything into position. But already, yeah, like this is a toy that you're not buying this toy for the actual transformation. You are buying it to have a badass looking Tony Todd on your shelf. So the fact that it even has an alt mode of any kind that is, you know, still probably a janky alt mode. Well, he never used it in the film anyway, so whatever. Let's see. Just figuring this out. Just trying to go off the photos here. Looks like that the feet just fold up again like the original toy did. Hopefully all this is getting caught on camera properly. Yeah, this is really one of those designs that was, that is very tricky to show. Like he's got spikes and stuff all over too. It's great. It is très fantastique. Okay, so these fold up over here like that. Again, going off the photos, and now that I do that, yeah, these tabs here are going to fold into something. Unless these shoulders fold up more, but I think that's the extent to the shoulder range of motion. I'm just trying to find where these particular tabs here that are clearly meant to slot into something are supposed to slot. Because, yeah, this looks about right so far. I'm definitely on the right track with this thing. Yeah, and these go outside like that. Again, I'm just going off the pictures here. We can tell that that's how this is supposed to go. And as for these, well, yeah, I can see this entire setup here. He is folding up and out like this and inwards, and then that's going to peg into the foot up here, it looks like. Yeah, I just need to figure out how that pegs in. There should be some slots. And once I see it, I'm going to just go, oh my god, wow, that's all this is. But yeah. This is an interesting toy. Interesting toy, given, yeah, like they are just completely making up an alt mode on this. I guess kind of like the Bumblebee movie stuff, unless it was something that was actually in concept art. But as far as I know, they're just doing the original Hasbro toy design because he had no alt mode in the movie. I am just trying to look at this image and figure out how these peg in, because I can see the... Unless I don't flip these around. No, they have to for the sake of the transformation. Yeah, these have to flip around so this can get up. Yeah, because I can see that part there. That pegs in there, and... Oh, I see. Yeah, these fold around again. Yeah, the legs fold around again. Okay, there's the tab. There's the tab that this folds into. Okay. All right, so then that should line up with this tab over here. Yeah, there we go. And I'll do the same on the other side. All right, and oh, there's tabs on both sides. This will actually help keep this in place. So, yeah, a little bit of a parts former, I suppose, with that in mind. I'm just popping this back out and figuring out, is there a second tab here? Is this supposed to fold up a bit more, or? Because it looks like there should be another slot here, but I don't see one. I guess there isn't one then. Alright, so yeah, there we have these. And then these are going to reach around and peg back into the arms up here. Meanwhile, we got the hands up here. Going to make use of those double joints, and these are going to peg into the sides here, I believe. We just need to find the actual peg points. But the hands, yeah, the hands just fold right over. And these come up, and I just need to find the actual bit of the sculpt that these are clearly meant to peg into. Because as I've keep saying in numerous videos and stuff, when Hasbro makes this stuff, they always engineer it so that everything like pegs together nicely. So I'm not too concerned about that aspect of the toy. I'm just more concerned about finding... Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I have to turn these like that. Then there's a little tab here. Yeah, there's a little tab over here. And then this is going to plug into the leg over there. Okay. All right. This is straightforward now. Okay, I've got this mostly figured out. So yeah, so you peg those tabs and slots in there. That means that we have these tabs up here, and I'll bet that, yeah, those tabs there are for the arms, just to fold back in on themselves. Not what I thought they originally were for. So yeah, so we got those tabs up there on the shoulders that are going to accept the forearms. We're going to plug this back in to the assembly over here. Everything is coming together nicely, and we've almost got this done going off the box photo. So yeah, we got this here. Repeg this. Once you get all this stuff pegged, it should hold fairly well. There we go. Yeah, the hands, it looks like, just sit there. And then these are going to just plug back into the arms here. It's just a lot easier to take those off. And then we will use these just to secure the position of the legs by folding that back in. All right, and just a little bit more adjustment. And this, I suppose, is... Yeah, that's more or less it. It's the Fallen in his vehicle mode, if you can call it that. I guess about the only thing remaining is the instructions just sort of plug the staff halves in on the sides there. So he does have weapon storage, which is always nice. And yeah, it's generously a jet, very generously. I do really like the fact that he does actually have some allowance for being able to like adjust the wing position just because of how the entire assembly mounts. Like those same arms that before allowed us to move stuff around. It's not pegging in as securely as I would like. That might just be because I'm playing around with stuff. But yeah, like we actually do have some play here with the wings just on account of these parts being attached to mobile parts of the sculpt. So that aspect is kind of cool. It's kind of cool in that aspect. But yeah, it is very generous to say that this guy has a jet mode. I mean, yeah, as far as Cybertronian jets go, this one is, yeah. Like, you're not buying this toy to transform it. You are buying it because you want the guy whose face Optimus Prime rips off, that is voiced by Tony Todd. So the fact that they even bothered with an alt mode, I mean, I guess that's more a bonus than anything. It's really not anything to write home about. Probably about on par with the original toy's alt mode. So, yeah, not really much else to say about that. So, let's get into some final thoughts then, I suppose. So, for final thoughts, what is there to say? The Fallen is big. Like, he is a big toy. This is easily one of the bigger Studio Series leaders that they've done. Like, probably even on par with, like, Grimlock. Just because of his very long and spindly nature. His alt mode is jank, but that is entirely to be expected because he didn't even transform in the film. And yeah, he is a very cool Robot Devil if you liked the Robot Devil's design from Revenge of the Fallen. Next to him, we have a serviceable Megatron, which is a very simplistic toy, to be honest. Much as it does pull off the look, it really needed the bigger size and, the room in the budget in order to do a few more bells and whistles in terms of articulation and stuff. It's a great design, but just a little small. With that said, yeah, that is the Christmas Eve entry on this Advent calendar. The Robot Devil coming right before Christmas Day. So, with that said, this is General Techno signing off, and enjoy your Christmas Eve dinners if you're having those.